about it. Let's talk about it. Don't you wanna talk about it? Let's talk about
Inspirations
it.
Live.
Don't you wanna talk
And
about
now,
it? Let's talk
Mr. J
about it.
Spider.
Don't you wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it. Don't you wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it.
Happy Friday. Welcome to Fill Up Friday Live. I am your host, Mrs. J Spire. So excited that you guys are here with us tonight. So excited that you are spending time with us. So, welcome. If you are catching the replay, please be sure to comment. We do our very best to go back and respond as well. So, how are you guys doing tonight? I'm going to give some people some time to come in. Hopefully, our Fill Up Friday faithfuls will come on with us tonight. I'm going to have some conversation and we're going to talk about what's in your soup. We talked about this a few years ago, but I felt compelled today as I was just kind of thinking about what we were going to conversate about tonight, what we are going to converse about, what we were going to discuss. That popped in my spirit, and it really does. It really is. It goes into a lot of the things that I reflected on this week. So, God always gives us what we need. He gives us what we need to talk about, what we need to share. So again, if you're catching the replay as you're coming in, let us know what you filled up on this week. Let us know if you didn't really fill up on anything, but you felt like you needed something and you just didn't get it. We hope that by the time you finish listening to our podcast, that you will leave full, right? That if you came empty, that you will leave full. So it's almost Thanksgiving. People start to talk a lot about what they are thankful for as we get closer to Thanksgiving. But tonight we're going to talk about a lot of things, and we're going to talk about how we really want to be intentional about being thankful every day. A lot of people will do. Sometimes they'll do like a 27-day of being thankful or 30-day of being thankful. Hey, Don. 30th of being thankful, but we really want to get in the process, get in the spirit of being thankful every day, right? Not just at Thanksgiving, not just during the holidays, but we really want to make it a part of our everyday that we are telling God, thank you, that we are thankful for what we have. Um, and, we're thankful that He's just providing for us all the time. So, Don, tonight we are going to be talking about what's in our soup, something like that. I don't know if you remember, but a couple of years ago, we did a segment called What's in Our Soup, where we were just talking about, I felt like, that the world was just sick, right? I think we did it in 2020 or either early 21. It was so many things going on, like political, so many things going on. Racially. And so I did something called What's in Your Soup, right? And we talked about when we're not feeling well, that we usually make soup. And I was asking, you guys the questions, what do you usually put in your soup, right? We always take the time. We want the perfect things in our soup. We want everything in our soup because we know it will feel well, right? And people in our family will ask, hey, I'm not feeling well. Can you make me some soup? Or if we know that someone isn't feeling well, then we usually say, hey, I'll make you some soup, right? Or we'll say, have you had any soup, right? Have you had any ginger ale? What are you doing to take care of yourself, and what are you doing to make yourself feel better? But today, as I was thinking about what we're going to talk about tonight, what's in your soup, what's in my soup, it dropped in my spirit. And so tonight we're going to look at it um, at a different way. And if you want me to be honest, I'm not even quite sure how it's going to all come together, but I know that God gave it to me. So I know that He's going to work it all out. So, oftentimes when we get into relationships, we usually ask the person, what do you bring to the table? What do you have to bring to the table? What do you have to bring to the relationship? What do you have to make us better? What do you have to give to make me want to be with you, or, to be in your presence, or to have, some type of relationship. And so tonight I wanted to ask the question, right? Like, what's in your soup? What are you bringing to the world? What are you giving to others? What are you sharing with others, right? What are you depositing into others? What seeds are you sowing, right? What are we doing to make ourselves better and to help other people be better as well? The other day, I was talking to my son, and he said, "Ma, you need to work on being patient." And I thought about that thing a lot, right? I was like, oh, well, I thought I was being patient. I thought I was patient. But maybe sometimes I'm not, right? So what are we bringing to relationships? What are we bringing to other people's lives? And are we listening to what people are saying, about us, not in the way that we're allowing them to define us, but in a way that's helping us to reflect? So we're going to talk about a couple things tonight. What's in your soup? And then we're going to talk about what are we thankful for that we have been able to deposit into other people. And then what are we thankful for that what people have in their soup that they're able to deposit into us. So Don is on here right now, and Don is one of my best friends, right? So Don, I'm gonna talk about you. She doesn't like it too much, but I'm gonna talk about her anyway. But Don is one of those people that what she has in her soup is she really does have the knack to really see people. Like, that's what she wants to do. Don wants to really see a person. Right. And then once she really sees a person, she really starts to speak into that person's life. It doesn't matter whether that person believes that about themselves, but she looks for all of that positive, and she really starts to tell you, right? Like, there are times where I am like, I wish Dawn would just stop telling me this, right? But she says it to me because she sees me, she believes in me, she loves me, and so she speaks it into my life, right? And so, yeah, you laughing out loud, but she sees it. So, like, she really sees people. She doesn't just, see a person in passing. Like, she really takes the time to really see a person, to see what their skills are, right? To see what they have in them. And then once she sees it, like, she makes it her responsibility. Like, she is going to tell you that she sees it, and she encourages it, right? Right. She said, I keep saying what I see. And she does. She says it all the time. And when she tells me, I'm like, Don, no, like, that's not what I am. Like, that's not what I do. Right. And she'll say, well, it may not look the way everybody else looks when they're doing it, but that's what you're doing it. That's what you're doing. So you need to just accept it, and you need to move in your gift, and you need to move in your calling. Right. And I'm always like, but like, that's what's in her suit, right? Just really being encouraging to other people. That's in her suit. That's something that she gives, right? That's something that she enables people to feast on, to be able to feel better and to do better for themselves. She pushes them into what she said, like what God has on their lives, right? And so in my soup, like, I feel like I have the gift of encouragement, right? And so that's what's in my soup. And so that's why I get on here every Friday night is because I want to encourage someone, right? I want to love on you guys. I want to help to push you to your potential. I want to plant those seeds, right? I want you to affirm yourself, but I also want to be right there with you to help to affirm you, right? Like I want you to be able to feel better. I put the words of self care in my suit, right? So that you can hear me say it, you can hear me talk about it, right? And so that you will start to understand that self care is going to help you feel better. I feel like I put love in my soup, right? Because sometimes, like, and that's the biggest ingredient, even when we're making an actual soup, right? Some people may put chicken, some people may put sausage, some people are putting onions or green peppers or um, carrots, peas, whatever they're putting in there, right? But when you eat it, you may tell somebody, man, I know you put some love in this soup because this soup tastes so good, right? And then have you ever cooked something and it's something that you cook all the time? Right, and everybody loves it. And then that one time that you cook it, you just didn't feel like it. You just did it just because. And guess what? It didn't taste the same, right? And somebody may say, Did you put everything in it?" Or it's good, but it doesn't taste like it usually tastes, right? And so it's because you didn't feel like it, right? And so all of that love that you usually put into it, it wasn't there. And so I feel like I have love in my soup. So even as you're catching the replay, drop into the comments, what do you put in your soup? What's in your soup? What are you doing to encourage, to help heal someone, right? To help support someone, to advocate for them, right? What are you doing? What's in your soup? Don, go ahead and drop in the comments for me. I've already told you, something that I think you have in your soup. But what do you feel like you have in your soup? What do you put in your soup? Even for yourself, right? For myself, like I've started to put grace in it, right? Grace for myself. I always feel like I give grace to everybody. And then when it comes to myself, like sometimes I'm just so hard on myself. I'm like, well, I should have did this, or maybe I shouldn't have done that. Or I need to do better, right? But here I am encouraging someone else, encouraging you, but I don't always give myself that grace. So I'm starting to put grace in my soup to help myself feel better, right? Because we have to make soup for ourselves as well, right? And I'm not even sure how to say it without, because there's not like one word, but I'm starting to put myself first, right? And that's going in my soup. So that's self priority. That is going in my soup, right? Because I'm like, I want to feel better. I want to do better. I want to be better. So I have to put this in my own soup as well. Don says truth. What the Lord says, they are to inspire hope, forgiveness, and accepting everyone where they are at, and letting them bring to the table who and what they are, and not expect perfection from anyone. And Don, that is good, because lots of times I would expect perfection from myself, but I won't expect it from someone else. I'll give them that grace, or I'll give them that opportunity to learn or to do better. But for me, I'm like, oh no, it needs to be perfect, and I need to do it this way. And that's why also hope and forgiveness and acceptance, right? That has to be in our soup if we are going to engage and we're going to interact with other people, right? Forgiveness has to be in that soup, because forgiveness, it doesn't only make them feel better, but it's really for us, right? Forgiveness is to help us feel better, right? It gets that heavy weight right up off of us. And so in acceptance, just accepting people for who they are. We don't always have to agree with it. We don't have to support it. We don't have to be, do things that they do or be like they are, but we have to accept people for who they are, right? And allow them to be themselves, right? Because God has given us all the opportunity to make our own choices. He gives us free will, right? And so we're supposed to love, we're supposed to just accept people and just let them be, right? And let them do, right? But we have hope for them, right? And we pray for them, right? And we keep them before the Lord, because we've all been in places where we didn't always make the best choices or make the best decisions, right? So as we go into the holiday, I want you to start thinking about, like, we're going to be doing a lot of cooking, but as we go into the holiday, begin to think about what's in your soup. What are you preparing for people? What are you offering to people? What are you planting? What are you seeding into other people's lives? And what are you seeding into your own life, right? Who are you around? Who are you hanging out with? What are you doing? What soup are you participating in or partaking in, right? Because relationships, whether any type of relationships, there should be 100%, right? And it's give and it's take on both sides, right? And so we want to be careful with what we are giving and how we are giving. And then we want to make sure that we are around people who are sowing into us, who are giving into us, right? That their soup is beneficial for us as well. I know it sounds really weird to be talking about soup this way, right? But soup is something that we use to make ourselves feel better. Soup is something that we use to give ourselves nutrients, right? We're eating vegetable soup, and it's a whole lot of, hey, our team, it's a whole lot of things in that soup. And that soup is in there for the purpose of like giving us nourishment in our body, and for taking care of us and making us feel better, helping us to feel better. And so as we're interacting and engaging with other people, we want to make sure that the soup that we are serving, that what we are giving, that it's not only beneficial to ourselves, but that is also beneficial to other people. So I want you to take the time to ask yourself, what's in my soup? What am I serving? What am I offering? What am I giving out and helping to be able to give people nutrients and plant those seeds? And then while thinking about that, I don't know if you guys saw my post on yesterday, but I was talking about this book, this journal. It's called the Reflections Journal. And I don't often, I can't even think about the word I want to do, but like promote, different things on my show. I don't, but this particular journal, it's written by one of my friends. Her name is Arlene. And I found out she had this journal, and I wanted to just support her, right? I was like, oh, I'll get a journal. I like to write. I'll support her. But when I got this journal and I opened it up, it's not a lot in here. And you guys, she's so humble that her name is not even anywhere in the book, right? I sent her a message and said, okay, wait a minute. You don't have a biography in the bag. You don't have anything, right? There's nothing in this book that said that she put this journal together. But her name is Arlene Dyer. And you can purchase this book or this journal on Amazon. But I just wanted to share it a little bit, because as we're reflecting tonight about what's in our soup, right, and what are we giving to ourselves and what are we giving to other people, this journal, like last night was the first night that I wrote in it, and I had it for about a month, right? And it says, the Reflections Journal, and it says, now that this journal is in your hand, guard it with your heart. Keep it in a safe place. This journal will be a reflection of who you are. Yes, you have to face yourself daily, but remember, condemnation is not allowed. Be free to express your thoughts and your feelings. As you reflect on each day, think about your conversations, your actions, and your reaction. Then decide if those are areas that need improvement. Every day is another opportunity to get it right. So give yourself some grace, right? I hadn't read this in about a month, the front page. So, but like it coincides with what we're talking about. Like, what's in our soup? What are we giving to other people? And then what are we giving to ourselves? Oftentimes, I said earlier, we give other people grace, but we don't give it to ourselves. So put that grace in your soup, but know that it's okay for you to eat off of it too, right? Don't just make this marvelous soup and give it to everybody. I want you to share it with everybody, but I want you to make sure that you share it with yourself. So, like I said, I opened it. Wrote it yesterday, so I'm going to try to do it this way because I don't want y'all need to see what I wrote. But in it, it says, as you reflect, be open to receive what is revealed to you about yourself. Be honest about how you feel. Be ready to commit to completing this journal and be willing to grow and change. Listen, so this is what it looks like. I'm gonna put it up here really quickly. So this is what it looks like. It asks like, okay, the date and the time, the scripture of the day, right? So it encourages you to read your word, and then it says, what is the word of the day? And then it asks the question, what happened today? And so it gives you the opportunity to write down what happened throughout your day and to really reflect. And so yesterday, I didn't have a word of the day, but my scripture of the day was Jeremiah 29:11, verses 11 through 14. And I posted that, lots of times we end right at, well, I know for me, we end right at verse 11, right? For I know the plans that I have for you, right? We read that one and we stop. But yesterday, just reflecting, I just continued to read. And I was just thinking about how important, of course, the whole chapter, but verses 11 through 14, it was just speaking to me, right? Um, and so it gave me the opportunity just to reflect on a lot of things. I started talking about like how, I feel like people don't always see my hurt, and it's because they see they don't know my pain because they see my smile, right? But that's something that's in my suit. My smile is in my suit. And so I love giving that to other people, right? I love feeding that to other people, even though lots of times underneath this smile, it's a lot of pain and it's a lot of hurt, right? But I know that I'm still in a good place, right? And I know that God has protected me, right? We talked about those 3 P's last week, right? Prepared, protected, and provided, right? He's done those 3 things for me. He does it every single day. And so the least I could do is share my smile, right? He gives me a smile every day, right? It's in my soup. It's a part of who I am. And so I can share that with somebody else, even though underneath of it, there's a lot of other things that may be going on, but it's in my soup. It's a part of what God has given me, and He's given it to me to give to somebody else to help them along the way and to make them feel better. So, whatever is in your soup, right? Whatever God has given you is not just for you, right? Our skills, they're not just for us, right? All the things that He's given us is not just for us. It's for us to go out and to share with people and to share with the world. So as we end tonight, again, I encourage you to take some time to reflect. I encourage you to ask yourself that question: what's in my soup? What am I doing to make myself better? And then what am I doing? What am I sharing with the world to help make the world better? What am I doing to nurture? Right? What am I doing to plant those seeds? So I love you guys. This is our last fill up Friday before Thanksgiving. So I want to say happy Thanksgiving to you guys. I want to encourage you to be thankful for what you have, not just as we go into the holidays, but for every day. Be thankful for all that God has given you. And you know what? There's some things that we may want that he hasn't given us, right? And it may not be that he's never going to give it to us. He may not have given it to us yet, right? So even be thankful for those no's that he's given us, or be thankful for those not yet that he has given us, right? Because we may not be ready for it. It may not be a time, because the 3 P's that we talked about last week is he's going to prepare us, he's going to provide, and then he's going to protect. So he's doing one of those things all the time. Happy Thanksgiving, Paula. He's doing one of those things all the time. So he's either preparing us, he's protecting us, right? He said no, or he said wait, and he's providing for us. So that's always happening, right? So keep those 3 P's in your heart and in your mind as well. Preparation, provision, and protection, right? And even this week, that's what I thought we were going to talk about this week, right? Again, just based on what he's done for me this week. But I really wanted to share with you guys and really encourage you to take some time to reflect, not only this holiday season, but just take some time on a daily basis to reflect and ask yourself what's in your suit. And if you can, get the journal, the reflections journal. It is amazing. It is going to help us to really, we're almost at the end of 2023, but God has some amazing things prepared for us for 2024. And we want to be able to walk into 2024 in obedience, right? And just just being open to all that God has for us, right? So be open to receive what's revealed to you about yourself. There's a lot of things that we have to learn about ourselves and we have to recognize so that we can move forward. And the journal says, be ready to commit to completing this journal. Be willing to grow and be willing to change. And as you are willing to grow and change, then your soup is going to grow and your soup is going to taste better and better and better. So I love you guys. I hope that you have an amazing week, amazing weekend. Make sure you do something this weekend to take care of yourself, to practice some self-care. And as you move into the holidays, if there's some people who the holidays are not that easy, right? And so that's why we have to really think about what's in that soup, because we may be able to help someone through the holidays, right? Someone who's lost someone who's having dinner alone, someone that's grieving something, right? It doesn't just have to be a death, but someone that's grieving something. And so our soup should be available to help them feel better. Our soup should be available to help them feel loved. Our soup should be available to help them feel comforted. Our soup should be available to let them know that we see them, right? And that even though we may not understand exactly what they're going through, but that we empathize with them, right? And that we're here for them. So I love you guys. I know I said it before, but now I'm going to say have an amazing week as well. Um, and maybe we will still get together for Philip Friday after Thanksgiving. We'll see how that goes. But I love you guys so, so much. Enjoy the rest of your night and your weekend. And as always, BJ Spire.